Hi, I'm Vanessa Marquette, and this is What's Brewin. We're here at the Office of Veteran and Military Affairs to talk about the Veterans Legal Clinic. And today with me, I have Beth Kubala, Scott, and Jordan here to talk about the Betty and Michael Wool Veterans Legal Clinic from Syracuse University College of Law. Beth, do you want to start off by telling us what you do? And then Scott and Jordan, we can get into what you do.
Sure. Thanks, Vanessa, and thanks for having us. My name is Paula. I'm the executive director of the VLC. I'm a retired Army lawyer. I spent a little over 22 years serving in the United States Army, and my last assignment was just right up the road at Fort Drum, New York, as a military judge. I came to Syracuse about 5 years ago and was very fortunate to be part of the IVMF team, and just joined the College of Law about a year ago to lead the Betty and Michael D. Wool Veterans Legal Clinic. Very excited to have two of my students here today, and we're going to tell you a little bit more about what we do and how we've been doing it through COVID-19.
Hi, I'm Jordan Broadbent. I'm a student attorney at the Veterans Legal Clinic. This is my 4th semester. I'm in my final semester in law school. I am a student attorney. I'm also the clinic research assistant this year as well.
I'm Scott Deutsch. I'm also a student attorney in a 2L. I retired from the Army, and I'm in my 2nd year of law school as a JDI student, which was the first ABA approved hybrid live online law program. And I recently completed my 1st semester in the Veterans Legal Clinic, and I currently work at the United States Special Operations Command in Tampa.
Thank you all. I'm glad we're here to talk about this. So Beth, do you want to start us off by telling what the Veterans Legal Clinic is and what you do?
Sure. The College of Law here at Syracuse University provides students many opportunities for what we call experiential learning, hands-on learning. And the Veterans Legal Clinic is one of those opportunities. It's one of the many reasons that I tell people why Syracuse University is the best place for veterans. Our mission at the Veterans Legal Clinic is twofold. We help train student attorneys like Scott and Jordan to be able to provide legal representation to veterans and their families. Veterans and their families are often seeking benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs, and it can be a very complex process. The other part of our mission is providing those critical legal services for veterans here in our community.
You mentioned you're a JDI student. Can you tell us a little more about the LawJDI program, and were you able to participate in the Veterans Legal Clinic like other residential students?
Absolutely. So the JDI program mimics traditional residential law school. The only difference is that we have these 6 one-week residential course programs that we're on campus, although right now we haven't been due to COVID. And we attend class regularly live in Zoom. So in theory, we were kind of ahead with what happened with COVID, and there was no change with that. In addition to completing some pre-recorded coursework, I've literally attended class all over the world. I mean, that's the best part about the JDI program. I was assigned in Germany. I've taken class while I was at the United Kingdom, Croatia, when I came back for training in DC. And I'm currently attending class while I'm working here in Florida. The shift to online learning for the law school really did enable me to take the coursework and become part of the Veterans Legal Clinic with minimal issues. In fact, I think myself and one other JDI student piloted the program this last semester and had absolutely no problems whatsoever.
So as a residential student, Jordan, how has COVID-19 affected the Veterans Legal Clinic for you?
So for me, I would say as a student, there was a big change. My first 2 semesters, we were lucky enough to be able to have access to the great clinic suite in the law school. So, you get to bounce ideas off of students. You do your work in there. It's a very cohesive work environment. So that was a shift, moving from where there was always other Veterans Clinic students to online. However, we did get lucky that the Board of Veterans Appeals, which is where a lot of our cases and hearings are, had actually been preparing for more virtual courtroom and hearing experiences because of, veterans live all over. And so it's even before COVID, they were making this change. So as far as client preparation, there has been a little bit more explaining Zoom and kind of going over. So as a student attorney, it's another step to prepare your client. But we got lucky, like I said, that the VA and the Board of Veterans Appeals had been moving to a more virtual platform before this. So while my life changed as a student a little bit, I didn't get to travel for hearings. It's probably a benefit to my clients who now don't have to travel for hearings. They can do it from the comfort of their own homes. So while it's an extra level of preparation, and it's definitely a different learning environment, and definitely being a virtual attorney is a little bit of a challenge, I think there's been a really seamless transition into it. And I don't think it's affected the work that we've been able to do for our clients.
Thank you. And Scott, how have your personal experiences as a veteran yourself helped in working with other fellow veterans?
Well, I'll be honest, what I found extremely rewarding is the fact that now I'm not only providing assistance to veterans, but I've been able to connect with the veteran clients because I am a veteran. And I've been able to leverage some of my own experiences when I'm talking with them and offer advice, maybe even establish some realistic expectations with regard to their particular claims and issues, in addition to offering a listening ear. And several of my clients do appreciate when I've introduced myself and I've kind of told them my background. And then we start talking about our mutual experiences and we completely get off track from what we're supposed to be talking about. And it just becomes a discussion about, Iraq, Afghanistan, regular service, airborne operations. But what's really amazed me is that not only do they embrace my willingness to share my own experiences, but then they immediately open up. And so by opening up, we're able to really create a much more cohesive relationship as a student attorney and client. What is funny though, is we had those discussions about, God, I wish we knew this when we first put on the uniform. So it's like, the conversation is just not a very, hi, I'm your attorney. Hi, I'm the client. And here's my issue. It's much more than that. And I greatly appreciate the ability to not only help somebody, but help somebody who's a brother and sister in arms that served in a completely different capacity.
And Jordan, you mentioned you're graduating this spring. So what are your plans after graduation?
My plans after graduating are to continue to work in veterans benefit law. I was fortunate enough to have a wonderful summer associateship at Chisholm and Kilpatrick, which is a veterans law firm in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm from the New England area, so I was excited to go back, and I was lucky enough to get an offer at the firm. So, pending graduation or bar exam, I'll be right back helping veterans in a different capacity, but as a attorney, no longer a student. So I'm very excited to, keep on assisting veterans.
That's great. So Beth, can you tell us what's in store for the Veterans Legal Clinic in 2021?
Sure. Well, as you've heard today from Scott and Jordan, we have a great group of student attorneys. We have so many veterans who need our assistance in this area, and high expectations for next year, just like this past year. I just checked in the calendar year of 2020, the clinic was able to secure more than almost $2 million in benefits for our local community's veterans. And that's simply back pay, the benefits that they were due that they had not previously received. The other part of that equation is the estimated lifetime expectancy of $20 million that really means to our community's veterans. And it also includes VA healthcare. We have one of the premier VA hospitals here in Syracuse, and that's where our clients get their care. And the way that we assist in securing these benefits also enables them to use that VA healthcare facility. There's a number of other opportunities we're going to take advantage of as well. There's a recently announced Syracuse Serves initiative, which is going to be run right here out of Syracuse University in partnership with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families. And we're thrilled to be part of that initiative and help build it and put into place a more coordinated service delivery program here in our community.
So how can we learn more about the Veterans Legal Clinic at Syracuse University?
I would encourage any student, any prospective student who's looking at where they should go to law school to explore all the opportunities that Syracuse University College of Law has to offer. You can find information about admissions criteria, classes that are offered, and clinics like the Veterans Legal Clinic. I'd also like to highlight, as Scott mentioned, there's options for those who are looking for a more flexible classroom opportunity. We have the JD program for students who are coming to Syracuse and attending in residency, like Jordan. And we have what Scott explained, the JDI program, the JD Interactive program, where students can join classes from wherever they are at whatever stage in their life that they are. So we have many opportunities for students, for veterans. We have full GI Bill yellow ribbon opportunities here. There's many reasons to explore why Syracuse Law might be the right choice for you for your legal education.
Great. Well, thank you all for joining us today and for helping us learn more about the Veterans Legal Clinic. And that's what makes Syracuse University the best place for veterans.